Inhale a little slower. Side out. Inhale. Sip in a little extra breath at the top. Slowly release your exhale out your mouth. Continue deep breaths on your own. If you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for class, anything you want to focus on, anything you want to bring to your practice, feel free to do so now, or just focus on your inhales and exhales. If you're using any blocks, you might slowly remove those to lie flat on the floor. We'll all meet with the legs extended out on the ground. Arms relaxed down by your side. Take some big ankle circles that you're painting with the toes. Start one direction, take several big circles. And switch to the other direction. Start to flex and point the feet. Toes toward the shins and face. Toes toward the front of the room and mirrors. Flex and point. Several more. Everyone has a consent token at the top of their mat. There's a yes side and a no side. Yes means you're open to hands-on assists or closer attention throughout your practice. No means you'd like some extra space, and you can flip it or change it anytime. Just make sure it's visible where I can see it. Bring the feet to stillness. Start to circle your wrists, maybe bend at the elbows. On your next inhale, reach your arms all the way up overhead like you're waking up for the day, palms face up. As you exhale, pull your elbows out to shoulder height, making a field goal shape in the arms. Inhale, stretch the arms long overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows, pull them down. One more time, inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend. Give yourself a big hug. Wrap your right arm over the left arm. Let the arm just kind of drape over the shoulders. Inhale, open your arms out like a T. Exhale, other side. Wrap your left arm over your right arm. Inhale, open your arms out like a T. As you exhale, draw your right knee in toward your belly or chest. Hug the knee in. And lift your left leg to a hover. So your heel's just off the floor. Flex your left footprint toward the mirrors. Moving the legs in opposite directions. Hug the right leg toward you. Left leg reaches away from you. You're still on that same side. Right leg stays in. Left leg reaching long at a hover. And then relax your left foot down to the ground. Use your hands to guide that knee all around, side to side, forward and back. Release your right leg down, hug your left knee in. And hover your right heel just off the floor, reaching your right foot toward the mirrors. Left knee pulls in, energy in both directions. Relax your right foot down and move your left knee side to side, forward and back. Need as much movement as you'd like in the hip joint. And release the left leg to the floor. Inhale, take a big good morning stretch. Reach your arms up and overhead. Let your ribs open up, let your back arch. Exhale, hug your knees in toward yourself. Take a little rock side to side. And then start to rock forward and back to make your way up to a seated position. Seated with the legs crossed, you're welcome to sit on a block or on the mat, whatever feels most comfortable. Sometimes sitting on a block can bring a little release to the hip flexors or the low back. On your next inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, right hand to the floor, left arm reaches up and over. Melt your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your whole seat rooted and grounded down. Find an inhale. As you exhale, maybe you reach just a centimeter further. Inhale through center, reach your arms high, sit up tall. Exhale, other side. Lengthening toward the door side of the room, fingertips or palm to floor or to block. Maybe reach a centimeter further on your next exhale. Inhale, come back up through center, reach your arms high. Exhale, twist to the right, left hand comes across your right knee. You're looking back over your right shoulder. Right hand relaxes down to the ground. You're sitting up tall, lengthening through the spine, gazing over your back shoulder. You can use pressure through the right fingertips or palm into floor or block to help you sit up nice and tall. Stay for one more exhale. Inhale to reach through center, look toward the front of the room, arms high. Exhale, twist to the other side. So this time your right hand comes over to the left knee or thigh. Left hand to block or floor behind you, gazing back over the shoulder. Notice if you're leaning back into that left arm, see if you can press down and lengthen, sit up tall. Stay for one more exhale. Inhale, come back up through center, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold forward, bring your fingertips or palms to the floor in front of you. Maybe you bring them to rest on blocks. Feel free to relax your chin toward your chest, round your spine forward. I'm going to soften through the shoulders. Let's meet on a big inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Side out. Walk yourself back up. Use the hands to take a little step. Stack shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your fingertips to the floor, blocks behind you. Draw your shoulder blades together. Lift your chin, lift your heart. Roll your shoulders down the back. Feel an opening across the collarbone and chest. Inhale, maybe you lift the heart a little higher. Exhale, relax. So you're looking straight ahead, shoulders over hips. You can rest your hands on top of your knees or thighs, palms face down. Inhale, lift your shoulders up. Exhale, roll your shoulders down the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Release your chin toward your chest. Start to take slow head rolls to the right. They can be as small or big as you'd like. If it doesn't feel comfortable to release your head back, you could also just roll your head side to side, ear to shoulder. And after your next head roll, switch directions. Completing one more head roll. Bring your head back to center, back to neutral. And slowly make your way into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Hands stack under the chest, knees underneath the hips. Spread your fingers out wide. Press the tips of the fingers and the palms into the floor to lift your chest a little further away from the floor. Inhale, relax your belly toward the ground. Lift your chin and tailbone high to our cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, round your back to cat pose. Inhale, arch. You'll make a big U shape in the spine. Exhale, round into a rainbow shape. Take several more of these on your own, taking your time, moving at your own pace. Notice your breath and your movement sinking up. Inhale as you relax the belly. Exhale as you pull your mid back and belly button toward the sky. If there's any little movements you want to add into your cat-cow, you could roll out the neck some more. You could wiggle your hips side to side, shift your weight forward and back, or even sneak in a child's pose. Yeah, we love some wrist stretches, wrist circles. And eventually make your way to stillness in your tabletop. Palms to the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm high toward the ceiling. Look up at the right fingertips. Exhale, thread the needle. We're going to hover this time. Just reach through to a hover. Inhale, reach your right arm back up to the sky. Again, exhale, right hand behind the left wrist, reach through, hover. Inhale, open the chest, reach toward the ceiling. One more time. Exhale, thread the needle. This time you lower all the way down to the right shoulder. Maybe rest your right temple or cheek to the floor. You could also use blocks underneath any part of the body, touching the ground for a little bit of support. Your left hand might stay connected to the ground, elbow bent. It might reach forward toward the top of your mat or wrap behind your low back. Feel weight and support in both knees, both hips. If you want, you could take a little extra wiggle, reaching those right fingertips slightly further toward the doors. Inhale, hold, stay, breathe, exhale. Left hand planted on the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm high, open up the chest. This time we're going to take some big arm circles here. So bring your right fingertips toward the mural wall behind you and then forward toward the mirror, circling back. Maybe one or two more. And then when you're ready, back to tabletop, maybe a couple cat-cows in between sides. Finding our way to neutral. Inhale, reach your left arm high, gaze upward. Exhale, left hand behind the right wrist as you hover and reach, thread the needle. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle. This time we settle in and hold in a place that feels good for our bodies. Your choice with that right arm. Any blocks or adjustments you want to make. Any moment of stillness is a great opportunity to just check back in, tune back in with the breath. Stay for the exhale. Right hand planted for support. Inhale, reach your left arm high toward the sky and take big circles backward toward the mural wall. And find your way back to tabletop, hands and knees. Walk your hands several inches forward so you have a little more distance between them and your knees. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Start to pedal out your legs, bend one knee, then the other. Release one heel toward the mat at a time. Let's see the mat between our fingers. Press through the entire hands, finger pads, palms. Let's meet in stillness in our down dog. Heels may be a little heavier. You could have a small or medium bend in the knees as you continue to reach your hips up and back, gazing toward the legs or the back of the room, melting your chest a little closer toward that wall behind you, toward your thighs. On your next inhale, lift the heels high. As you exhale, relax the heels toward the floor. Again, inhale, heels lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, lower, settle in. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Creating space between the ears and shoulders. Yes, rotating your inner elbows slightly toward the ceiling. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, tabletop, drop the knees down. Bring your big toes to touch, sit your hips back toward your heels. Arms reach forward, child's pose, knees wide. Another option would be to bring the knees and shins together in your child's pose if you'd like. Big inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Walk your hands over toward the right side of your mat, maybe stacking left hand on right hand. Feeling a nice stretch through the sides. Walk your hands back through center and then over to the left side. If you're stacking, maybe right hand on top of left. Walk your hands back through center. Inhale your way to tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale, step your right leg back behind you. Ball of the foot is grounded down. Rock forward and back, pressing the heel toward the back of the room, then shifting it toward the front of the room. Feel your weight shift back and forth between your hands and your knee a little bit as well. Then find stillness here. Float the right foot off the floor. It's very flexed footprint toward the mural walls. You press down through the hands, stretch behind the knee, squeeze the thigh. Keep pushing through the foot, lengthening through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, ground the right foot down. Again, it's still long behind you. And then spin open to face the curtains, face the window. So the left foot spins behind the left knee. Your right leg is out to the right side. We bring the shoulders up over the hips, arms out like a T position. So we're up tall, shoulders over hips. Inhale. Exhale, right hand to right leg, left arm stretches up and overhead toward the back wall. Relax the shoulders, lengthen and reach energy through the fingertips and that top arm. Inhale, back through center, shoulders over hips, arms like a T. Exhale, left hand to block or floor. Right arm reaches toward the mirrors, big side stretch on the other side. Got a big arc happening from the outside edge of your right foot all the way up to the right fingertips. We're going to keep our legs, lower body in this position. I want you to fold forward toward the curtains. Bring your hands down under the chest in front of you. Good. And then you can start to rock your hips forward and back if you'd like. Forward and back. You're always welcome to pad up the knee a little bit if you want. A towel or an extra fold in your mat is really helpful. Maybe you pause as you sit back and give it a little extra breath or two there, holding the stretch. Maybe you like the rock and the motion and the joints. Find your way back to stillness. And then just walk your way to face the mirrors. We're going to spin to face forward and tabletop, hands and knees. Walk your hands a little forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. You can take little movements as you settle in. Maybe this one feels a little comfier than the first one of the class. From down dog, inhale, bend your knees, melt your chest closer toward the legs. Exhale, lengthen your legs into your down dog. Again, inhale, bend your knees, shift your chest back, and lengthen. One more time, inhale, bend, heels might come high. Exhale, lengthen, heels come closer to the floor. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, tabletop. And reach your left leg back behind you. Ball of the foot grounds down on the mat. Start with a rock forward and back, stretching out the ankle, the calf. And find stillness. Float your left foot off the floor. Really flex the foot. Imagine you're pushing it into that back wall. Lengthening behind your left knee. Really nice, Lauren. Stretching all the way to the heel. And then we've got our core fired up as well. We're going to draw the navel up. Lengthen the spine. Push down through the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the leg long. Bring the ball of the foot back down to the mat. Spin to face me toward the door side of the room so that right foot comes behind you. Left leg is still out to the left side. And when you're ready, stack shoulders over hips, arms like a T. Inhale. Exhale, left hand to left leg, right arm stretches up and overhead. You might even turn your gaze upward a little bit. Continue to find space between the shoulders and the ears here. Inhale, back through center, arms wide. Exhale, other side, reach up and over toward the mirrors. Don't forget you've got those blocks if you want to stack one underneath the hand. And you're gonna fold forward, bring your hands down under your chest in front of you. That left leg is still out to the side, and we're all facing the door side of the room. Start to rock your hips back and forward, big, medium, or small shifts. Get a hold and pause anywhere you'd like. And then take your time walking to tabletop to face the front of the room. Knees stack under the hips, hands under the chest. Let's take a child's pose again. Big toes touching. Knees can be wide or together. Arms can reach forward, or maybe you want to stack the hands like a pillow under the forehead. Sometimes I like to wrap my arms around the outside of my knees and calves, kind of give myself a little hug, come into a little more of a ball, or feels like a turtle in its shell position. It's very comfy. Let's meet up for a breath. Inhale. Release it out the mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale your way to tabletop. Exhale your way to downward facing dog. We're just here for a moment. On your next inhale, lift your right leg behind you. You can let the hip open up if you'd like. You can bend the knee, circle the ankle. Just get some nice stretches here with the leg lifted. And then we're going to shift into three-legged dog. So we're squaring that hip off. Wrap the right hip down a little bit. Back side of the leg facing the ceiling. Right foot flex. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward between the hands. Relax your left knee down to the mat again. Maybe padding it up with an extra layer. Bring your blocks underneath your hands, framing out your front foot. The blocks can be on any height or setting to close the gap between you and the floor. There's a good distance between the front heel and the back knee, so we can melt the hips a little more toward the front of the room. Then inhale, lift your chin, lift your heart. Exhale, rock back, find some length in that front leg. Draw the toes into a flex position. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Let's hold and pause here this time. You can keep the chest more upright. You could hinge or round forward. You can Keep the blocks, lose the blocks. Maybe you stretch the arms out in front of you by walking hands or blocks further forward. Sometimes it takes a little bit of experimentation, a little playing around to find where you want to hold, breathe, and stay for the pose. On your next inhale, bend into your right knee, come back to that low lunge. Left hand is to block or mat as the right arm reaches into a twist. So opening your chest toward the curtain side of the room. If you prefer to keep it center, you could bring your hands back to blocks, framing that front leg. Lift up through the right arm so you feel like you're getting a little lighter in the left hand. Find one more inhale here. Exhale, frame the foot, hands to blocks or floor. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Biceps frame the cheeks or ears, palms face each other, fingertips reaching toward the ceiling. Knit the ribs slightly down. Core is helping us balance here. Lengthening up and out of the hips, deep bend in the front knee. Stay for one more inhale in our kneeling crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to blocks. Press hands down, blocks to the floor. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. We're going to walk our hands and blocks over toward the long side of the mat, facing the door side of the room. So we all are in a wide-legged forward fold. Hands are under the shoulders, whether they are to blocks or floor. Inhale, halfway lengthen, reach long through your spine, crown of the head toward the door wall. Exhale, melt toward your legs. Again, inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, relax, and stay. If you want, you could shake your head yes and no. You could bend into one knee, then the other. Walk your hands back between the legs. Try to relax through the neck wherever you're at. So think crown of the head heavy toward the floor. That's it. Nice adjustments. Let's find one more breath here. Then I'm going to encourage everyone to shorten your stance a little bit. So heel toe those feet so they're a little bit closer. They're still outside the hips, but certainly closer than before. Turn your right toes toward the top edge of your mat, so toward the mirrors. Left toes are going to stay dialed forward. You're going to bring your block toward the inside of your right foot. You could also have hand to ankle, shin, or thigh. Blossom the left arm open to our triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good gaze up toward the top hand if you'd like. We're stretching long through the arms and legs, leaning back a little bit between the shoulders. You can always add a little softness to that right knee if you feel like it's getting a little bit locked into place. And open your toes just a little bit more toward the top. Yeah. One more inhale. As you exhale, we're going to turn our way toward the mirrors, passing through a low lunge to come back to our downward facing dog. So root the hands down, step your way back, or get there however you'd like. Maybe take a few petals while you're here. Inhale, lift your left leg behind you. You can let the hip open. You can bend and extend the leg. And then three-legged dog. We're going to wrap that left hip down, flex the foot. Inhale. Exhale, step forward between the hands. Release your back knee down. Hands to blocks, framing out your front foot. Inhale to shift forward, look forward. Exhale, rock back, find length through your front leg. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. One more, inhale forward. Exhale back, hold. You can always add a bend into that knee as you'd like. Think toes back toward the face so the foot is flexed. And then imagine you're pinning the left hip back a little bit, dragging the left heel back a little bit, wrapping your right hip forward so that your hips are on the same starting line. If they're getting ready for a big race, they're going to start at the exact same spot. They're in line with one another. Stay for one more breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee, shift forward into your low lunge. Exhale, your right hand is to block or floor as the left arm reaches into your twist toward the door side of the room. And again, we have that hand down for support, but we need to still find a lifting motion, kind of a lightness in that supporting arm. Root down through our legs, lift up through the left fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, hands frame out the foot. When you're ready, inhale, stack shoulders over hips, reach your arms high, palms face each other, looking toward the front of the room. Exhale, bring your hands to your blocks. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, walk your hands toward the window side of the room into your wide-legged forward fold. Take any movements you'd like, any stillness you like here. If you're holding in stillness, notice if all of your weight's back in the heels. See if you can bring it a little bit more into the balls of the feet. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck, try to really relax it down. Good, and we're gonna circle back for our halfway lift. So let's meet in stillness, hands to blocks. Inhale, halfway lengthen, stretch your spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Shorten your stance a little bit by heel toeing those feet a couple inches closer. Open your left toes toward the top edge of your mat. Bring your hand and block to the inside of the left foot. Gonna keep the hand there. Bring it to shin or thigh or ankle. Right arm reaches up toward the sky in our triangle pose. Long arms, long legs, long sides. Peel the right hip back, tuck the left hip toward the curtains, and then open your chest back. You're pushing into my hand. Yes. I'm gonna keep the front of the torso open over that front leg. Stay for one more inhale. As you exhale, passing through a lunge, turn toward the mirrors. Bring your hands down, step back into your downward facing dog. Take a few slow breaths here. It's our last down dog of the class. Inhale. Exhale, release your knees down. Make your way to a seated position. Maybe grab a sip of water on the way. As we sit down, you could settle onto a block or on the mat. Again, sitting on the block can bring a little relief to the hip flexors, and also, since we're forward folding, it might feel a little better on the back sides of your legs or hamstrings as well. Also invite everyone to grab a strap. We can always lose it anytime. Who's sitting up tall, shoulders stacked over the hips, lengthen through the crown of the head. Flex your feet so the toes draw back toward the face. Maybe you add a little bend in the knees here. Hands holding onto the strap. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, fold forward. Strap comes to the bottoms of the feet. You can walk your hands more forward or more back on the strap to add or decrease intensity. If you don't want to use the strap, you can always just toss it off to the side. It's okay to want to find a little intensity or challenge or grow your flexibility here, but we do want to stay within a range where we can take deep breaths. We're not in a lot of pain. Sometimes making adjustments to make sure we can still unclench the jaw and fill up the lungs and belly. Empty it out. Stay for one more. Inhale. And exhale. And release out. Bring your shoulders over the hips. Set your strap to the side if you're using one. You can keep or lose the block if you want as we go into our Baddha Konasana. So bottoms of the feet come together, knees fall outward, hands could come to the lower legs, feet or ankles. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale to hinge or round forward. Sometimes it's nice to bring a block under each knee or thigh here for a little bit of support. While we're here, pick one place where you can release some tension. One place where you can relax a little bit more. Let it go. And bring your chest back up over the hips. If you're sitting on a block, you might just remove it and set it to the side. We're all going to lie back with the legs still in this position, but if you need to scooch forward or adjust things to make that happen, go ahead. When you come back, make sure your strap and blocks are handy so you don't have to do a sit-up to get them later. So bring them back with you. Lie back, soles of the feet together, knees falling outward. Maybe here you choose to support with blocks so that you can feel a little more effortless, a little less tension in the legs and hips. Hands could be placed on the body or resting down by your sides. Slowly begin to bring your knees to point at the ceiling or feet flat on the floor. Bring your feet as wide or wider than your hips and windshield wiper your knees slowly side to side. Feet are grounded. Next time your knees fall over to the right, you might pause and hold for one breath. Same thing, next time your knees drop to the left, maybe pause, hold, take an extra breath. And go back to the rocking side to side. Bring your knees back to center. Extend your right leg toward the ceiling, foot is flexed, footprint toward the sky. If you want, you could take a little hug here, bring the leg a little closer toward you. Cross your right ankle over the left knee into a figure 4 shape. Right knee out wide, foot super flex. And then option to keep it grounded or hug the leg in toward you. Bring your hands to the back of your left thigh or top of the left shin. You could also bring a strap through between the legs to help you hug the shape in. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Shoulders and head can stay heavy, grounded, and relaxed toward the floor. If the left foot is lifted, bring it back down to the ground. Hug your right knee in toward your chest and your left leg out long to the floor. Right arm lowers down by your side. Left hand guides the knee across the body toward the door side of the room into a twist. Blocks could come underneath the right knee. You could keep the knee center and opt out of the twist. Wherever you're at, shoulders melting in the direction of the floor, gaze either straight up at the ceiling or falling over the right shoulder. Find an inhale and an exhale. Slowly bring your right knee back in toward yourself. We're going to pick up the strap. Bring it to the sole of your right foot. Extend the leg long. Maybe a little bend in the knee, maybe not, but you can also adjust your hands higher or lower on the strap to find your ideal stretch. Left leg grounded. Bring both ends of the strap into your left hand. We want to keep the leg high. It's less of a big twist and more of a slight cross over the midline to get a more stretch and focus into our IT band. So it's just coming across the body while the foot stays lifted, more upward toward the ceiling. Bring the leg through center, the strap into your right hand. You can let that leg open out to the right side. It might be small or big. See if you can secure the left hip and left side of your seat down. You can even use your hand to remind it to stay grounded on the floor. Slowly bring your leg back to center. You can remove the strap. Bring that foot down. Bend both knees. Plant both feet on the floor. Inhale, extend your left leg high. Flex the foot. Maybe giving it a little hug while we're here. And then on your next exhale, cross your ankle into your figure four, your reclined pigeon. Use props. Make adjustments as you like. Don't let the feet fall asleep. Try to keep them flexed here. Any foot off the ground is still active. Stay for one more breath. If the right foot is off the floor, bring it down. Hug your left knee in toward yourself. Extend the right leg long. Lower the left arm down by your side. Use your right hand to guide your twist or to pull the knee through center. You can reach for blocks. Turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Anything in between that feels good. Sometimes we make different choices and adjustments for different sides, and that is perfectly fine when I give them each what they need, their own individual attention. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time, slowly draw the knee back through center. Reach for your strap to bring it to the sole of your left foot. Extend the leg center to start, adjusting your hands, adjusting your knee. Then you can bring both ends of the strap into your right hand to bring it just across the midline. Melt your back into the floor. Bring the leg through center strap into the left hand. Open out to the left side again. Slowly letting that leg fall to the side a little, maybe a lot. Then notice if the right seat and hip is peeling away from the floor. Kind of draw it back. Glue it down. Bring your leg back to center. Remove the strap and bend both knees, feet on the floor. Reach for a block. Exhale. Inhale, hover your hips just enough to slide that block underneath where your low back meets your upper seat on its lowest or medium setting for a supported bridge. You can scooch it up and down until you find a spot that feels comfortable to rest on. I tend to find I don't want my whole back off the block. I don't want my whole seat off the block. I want both supported just a little bit, right where my sacrum lies. Knees can stay bent, feet on the floor. You could always stretch the legs long on the floor. Or if you want to, take a little inversion and send the feet toward the ceiling and waterfall, that's welcome. While you take several more breaths here, I'm going to go get our cooling packs. Take one more full breath wherever you're at. We'll meet with knees bent, feet on the floor. Inhale to hover your hips, slide that block out. Exhale to release your hips to the floor. Maybe take a few windshield wipers. Just shake it out or reset. Bring your knees to center and stillness. Knees touch. Feet just a little bit spaced out so your knees can rest against each other. And if you do not want a cooling pack, place your hands on your torso. If you do want a cooling pack, keep your hands off your torso. After I come by your mat, if you want to make a different choice, that's totally fine. You can use these for your hands, arms, legs, forehead, eyes, chest. You can stay where you are if you'd like to take a happy baby. I invite you to hug your knees in toward yourself. Reach your arms between your legs to grab the inner or outer calves, ankles, or feet. Maybe adding rocks side to side. Maybe bending and extending the legs or circling the ankles. Give the knees another big, huge hug in toward the chest. Squeeze everything in. Add some circles if you'd like. And then releasing out onto the mat, making your way to your Shavasana place. It can be arms and legs long. You could be in your Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet touching knees outward. You can always sit upright if you'd like. Big inhale. Exhale. Try to relax from the head all the way down to the toes. Any part of the body touching the mat gets heavier, feeling supported and effortless. Final rest, Shavasana. Begin to invite movement back into the body, deepening your breath, wiggling the fingers and toes, circling your ankles and wrists, nodding your head side to side. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale out the mouth. Roll to one side using your arm as a pillow, tucking your knees in toward yourself to curl up into a ball. With your eyes closed or softly gazing, press your way up to a easy seated position. Hands can rest to the legs, or palms might meet in front of the heart as you take a moment to yourself. You can reflect on your practice, any intention you may have set. You can focus on your breath or just give yourself a little thank you for being here today. We'll close out class with another deep breath together. Inhale through the nose, sit up tall. Exhale, let it go. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your practice in the space with me. If you have any questions, let me know. My name is Haley, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.